Welcome to Up to the Minute. It's Thursday, May the 21st. I'm Todd Duplantis. Glad to have you with us this morning on Thursday morning as we move through yet another week of working remotely. My partner on the show, Brittany Pacheco, joins me from her home. Good morning, Brittany. It's a big morning for us here at HCC.
Good morning, Todd. It is for a couple of reasons. We have a big announcement to share with you all this morning, but then we also are 24 hours away from our virtual graduation.
That's right. That's happening tomorrow. A lot of stuff going on behind the scenes to have those two ceremonies up for you live and on the internet. One of them will be our Vast Academy. That happens. It'll be released at 11 a.m. this tomorrow morning. You can watch that live. And also our main HCC virtual commencement ceremony happening at 2 p.m. And all the information you can find at hccs.edu/graduation. Well, as Brittany mentioned, we talked about a big announcement this morning. Houston Community College has launched a new initiative, jobshoustonnow.org, and it showcases in-demand occupations and certificate programs offered by HCC and how you can obtain these jobs. Now, during this time of significant job loss, as many of us have lost our jobs across the nation and specifically here in Houston, HCC is taking an approach to identify classes and trade skill opportunities to fit immediate and future job openings. There is a website available. It identifies the programs, Brittany, and the website is very easy to find. It's jobsnowhouston.org. That's jobsnowhouston.org. And Brittany, I guess this really shows what a community college is all about, because our job and mission is to fuel the workforce. And right now we can identify programs to fast track people who may have lost their jobs, looking for new opportunities, identify the job openings, improve and show them a pathway on how they can get there with getting a degree or a certification very quickly.
That is very true, Todd. And what an initiative that, we've taken this approach of being challenged and forced to rethink every facet of education and community responsiveness. And that's actually quoted from our very own Chancellor, Dr. Cesar Maldonado. And, Houston Community College is very central to a lot of people in this community, whether you are wanting to get your two-year degree to transfer to a four-year university, or just to have that skill set to be able to put your foot right into that workforce. And from what research is showing, from industry data, healthcare, logistics, manufacturing, information technology, and construction are projected to increase hiring during and following this COVID-19 crisis. So HCC is here for you, everyone. And I'm just going to put that little plug in right now about registering for summer and fall classes, because summer classes are already underway with our mini-mester, but they start officially on June the 8th. And our fall semester begins later in August. So be sure to look into those industries that I just mentioned that are going to be hiring during and after this COVID-19 crisis. You can find out more by going to hccs.edu and check out all of our programs that we have available.
And, Brittany, I mentioned that many people have lost their jobs. If you look at the numbers, they're literally staggering since this pandemic started. Let's go back to March. Since then, more than 1.5 million Texans have filed for unemployment during this time. They've been laid off, let go, furloughed, or just simply told, their job's just gone away. And but however, across the state, nearly 481,000 job openings have been posted in the last several months. So the good news is there are jobs there. Many cases, these are essential jobs. In many cases, they're hiring almost immediately, and HCC has pathways to get you on the right track. Once again, the website, it is live now, Brittany. It's jobsnowhouston.org. And you'll be hearing a lot from this, about this on our show and in the media. You'll see a lot about it over the next couple of months as we try to get back into some new normal, Brittany, and try to get people back to work.
Absolutely. And we are doing our part. We're working with business partners and leaders in Houston to provide the most affordable and reliable training to qualify for critical need jobs. And again, go to jobsnowhouston.org. for more information. It provides job title, number of jobs currently open within each industry, and the average hourly earnings. So this is great information to have. Again, that just launched this morning, jobsnowhouston.org. Go check it out.
Thanks, Brittany. When we come back to you, let's share your screen, and we'll go to that website and show people what it looks like. We'll do that later on in the show. But right now, we've got some special guests. We've all been working remotely, but in many of our programs, students have projects, and they want to show their projects either with an exhibition or a film festival. How are we doing that now? Well, we're finding unique, innovative ways, and we've got Catherine Fields, Division Chair of Visual Arts Studio and History, joining us. Good morning to you.
Morning.
And also Michael Cohn, Division Chair, Audio Recording, Filmmaking, and the Music Business. They're both from the HCC Center of Excellence for Visual and Performing Arts. Good morning, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Now, we're going to start with you because we've tried to have you on before, and things went sideways with the whole COVID situation. But here we are living in a new world, and you're an instructor in the media arts program. But more importantly, I'm fascinated with your students because they have filmmaking projects. And I guess the culmination of every semester is they get a chance to show everybody their work. How are you guys doing that this year? Because you really haven't missed a beat. You've adapted and you're doing things online.
Well, last semester, we had our first ever public screening of all the student works in the screening theater at the Spring Branch campus. So that was the beginning of what I saw as a tradition that we would carry forward. So this semester, since we knew we couldn't gather people together in that screening theater, the decision was made to try to virtually recreate that experience for the students. So we did some research over several weeks, and with the help of a lot of people, we decided that the best way to launch it was on the VPA YouTube channel. So over the last 10 days, I've been compiling all the student projects, pulling them into a timeline, creating a single compilation file of all of those projects. It's about 2+ hours in running length. It's now been uploaded, and it's scheduled for premiere tomorrow night, 7 p.m.
And once again, they can watch that. Anyone can log on to YouTube and visit. Is it your own channel for the VPA? How does that work?
It is the VPA channel. So it's Visual and Performing Arts channel on YouTube. And the premiere is available to anybody in the world that has the viewing link. I sent the viewing link out, and it's been shared amongst the faculty, their students, family, and friends. So I'm hoping we have a good turnout.
And we'll also have that viewing link in our social media. You can look at it, look for it in the posting for this show after it's produced. Now, we also know one of your students is pulling double duty because he's working for us as well, Benji Escobar. And his work is showcased with you. And from what I understand, his work with you is a little bit darker than what he does with us.
Well, I can't speak to his body of work, but I can tell you that the particular film that he has in the showcase that's going to premiere tomorrow night is interesting. He's a sweet guy, but artistically, maybe he strays to the darker side. It's an interesting short project.
Yeah, well, one thing I got to say about Benji and really all of the students we've had working for us at HCCTV this semester, and I'm sure you've noticed this too, we kind of threw our students into a tailspin. We were all in this new world. They went away for spring break. Things started changing rapidly. One of our students got trapped in Indiana, and they all had cell phones and smartphones, and we told them, we want you to keep working, start shooting some stories for us, and they all adapted. I mean, these guys are shooting some incredible stuff. Some of them have droids, some of them have iPhones. Whatever it is, they figured out a way to continue doing that work. Have you noticed that with your students as well?
Yeah, I've actually been astonished by how quickly the students adapted to the combination of social isolation, where they were essentially working alone as creators, as visual storytellers, but their resources were reduced from a full production package of a camera, a tripod, a light kit, to a single smartphone. And based on what I've seen of the student work that's in the premiere tomorrow night, they rose to the occasion. And a lot of them told really interesting, intimate stories that were either about their experiences with the pandemic, or they found ways to create mini documentaries, interviews. They got their families involved. So the variety of work is really remarkable.
It really is, and I can't say enough for how they've adapted, and really the whole news industry and video production industry had to adapt very quickly, especially if you want to keep working. Have you been able to incorporate this whole new world that we're living in virtually into your curriculum?
Well, we're struggling to do that as I speak. I mean, as you know, the transition this semester was an abrupt one. And no one was ready for that. And we had to sort of throw ourselves into it. I think coming out of this semester, the college and the instructors collectively are much better prepared to keep teaching online. But I think it's a challenging transition. There are a lot of aspects of teaching audio recording and filmmaking that are very difficult to do and don't translate easily to complete online instruction. So Catherine and I, almost on a daily basis, have conversations with Colleen Riley, the dean, and with the other chair, Susan, about how we're going to navigate our way through this, how you take these intensely hands-on courses that involve direct physical experience with equipment, with facilities, with tools, and how you translate that effectively into an online environment. It's very challenging.
And Catherine, let's move on to you as well, because you have students who were putting stuff together for exhibitions. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that and how you were able to move through this and show off their work.
Well, one way we were able to really create an opportunity for an exhibition, given the fact that the galleries were no longer accessible, was that I worked with my staff in the COEVPA to create and work with also too with Dr. Hodges in creating social media accounts, such as an Instagram account. And then we used the Canvas LMS for us to create an assignment that students could submit their work into to have a virtual exhibition through Instagram. And so it was that endeavor that kind of brought us to this virtual exhibition opportunity and also kind of filled that space that we were all missing of the student exhibitions to kind of celebrate all of our successes at the end of the term.
For art majors, I know a lot of it has to deal with collecting supplies and getting your supplies. How is that working for the fall and for the summer, these supplies kits? Are you guys working to creating these kits for students? How are you doing that?
Yes, actually my staff currently right now is working on lists. They're actually coming through the Learning Web and getting all the materials off of the syllabi, as well as going back historically looking at documents of orders for supplies. And our plan right now is to create student kits as well as toolkits for the students in order for them to take supplies home, as well as have supplies available to them to check out if they are kind of a more expensive or larger. We can't get the quantity of them. So these are all the things that we've been working on since the pandemic started, and conversations we've been having about continually supporting the students. That will happen for the fall. This summer, unfortunately, we're not able to offer any face-to-face studio classes, so we're focusing all of our energy on creating that opportunity for the fall in a hybrid modality.
In marketing, the trend is using Instagram and social media for business purposes. Do you think your students are getting an idea of what that's all about now that they've been now that their exhibition has been forced onto Instagram, that they're kind of getting some ideas that, hey, I can use this for a business purpose if they haven't been doing so before?
Well, one of the things we tried to accomplish with using the Canvas as a submission portal was we gave them directed guidelines as if it were an exhibition that they would be submitting to professionally. So the professional standards were there. And so I think it was a great exercise for the students to participate in that and kind of see the results of that. So yes, I think having it in this platform, but also going through the steps by which we're asking them to, is that they're having that kind of a relatable experience as well.
I'll ask this question to both of you as we move forward, and we don't know exactly when we're going to get back in the buildings. We're hoping by the fall we'll be back in some type of normalcy, whatever that looks like. But do you think we're going to be taking away some of the things we've learned over this COVID crisis, and it's going to be incorporated in a major way as we move forward with instruction delivery?
Michael, do you want to take that, or?
Well, that strikes me as a difficult question. I can only speak about our programs. I can't speak about the whole college and the system, but I think as far as our programs are concerned, all of the faculty collectively are every day thinking deeply about how to take the content of what used to be taught in a face-to-face environment, in studios, in labs, sound stages, where students had direct access to equipment, how to take that model and translate it into something that's either hybrid, it's a mix of face-to-face and online, or an entirely online modality. Either way, it's really challenging. But I can say that the best work that I've seen our faculty produce over the last 6 or 8 weeks has been breathtaking in its creativity and its ingenuity about what they're doing with computer technology, with software, integrating content in a way that's making it really engaging and appealing for students. So there's a lot of entrepreneurial spirit at work right now in our programs that I'm really encouraged by, and I'm sure that's happening all across the system.
So you feel like this is has sparked us to be more collaborative with our colleagues and peers as before we entered into this COVID crisis?
I believe so. I know for a fact that a lot of our faculty, because I've joined them too, have joined social media groups talking and discussing about opportunities for projects with our colleagues across the nation. Having conversations about the challenges that we face in the studio classrooms, as well as the lecture classrooms that do depend on museum visits, right, to support the overall instruction and curriculum. So I've seen that, and also too, I've been on the telephone with my faculty talking to them about how to improve their Canvas courses, how to improve on that instruction, like how to utilize all the tools that are available to us. That's been really, really exciting to kind of have those conversations with my faculty and to see that as we go along, and to be able to look at the Instagram account of our student work and to see the success of these creative projects that our faculty have brought to them in a remote, distant environment. It's very, very exciting to see just how we're able to sustain our creative endeavors during this difficult time.
Catherine Fields and Michael Cohn from HCC Center of Excellence for the Visual and Performing Arts. Thanks for both of you for joining us today, and good luck as we move through this summer. We look forward to seeing you in some shape or form in person in the fall.
Thank you.
Thanks,
and
Michael,
once again, your student film series is tomorrow night, and it's 7 p.m. on the VPA YouTube channel. We'll have a link for that here. So we wish you success with that. And Catherine, we'll have a link for the Instagram exhibition as well. We look forward to seeing our students' work.
Great. Thank you so much, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all for joining me. All right. And we'll move back over to Brittany. Brittany, certainly a big day for us, but it's always great to hear that we're, these students work so hard on their projects and they really want people to see them and they deserve the accolades. And it's great to see that we are able to get the work out there in a manner where everyone can see it.
As a former digital arts student, I fully understand and appreciate what our faculty members are doing for their students to be able to showcase their work. It's really important for them to get that experience and to be able to have people view their work and try to understand what it is the students are trying to convey. And it's really it's just really pivotal in their line of work. And I think it's great that, while this isn't our traditional way of showing student work, technology, while sometimes it fails us like it did yesterday, it's awesome to have technology as a backup to still be able to showcase what it is our students are doing, because they do work very hard at their craft and they have every right and deserve to be showcased whenever possible.
Let me ask you this, Brittany. Did you have any feeling that Benji was the next Quentin Tarantino? It sounds like his work is real edgy and out there.
You know what? I'm not entirely surprised, because Benji is a really great guy. I mean, the interactions I've had with him, he's just a really nice overall individual. But the whole dark side of him, yeah, I could totally see that, maybe because I have a dark sense of humor as well, it doesn't bother me. But yeah, no, he's going to be destined for some good good work in the future.
And he's also a mariachi player too. He picked up a guitar at the last holiday party we had and serenaded all of us.
Yeah, he did. He did a great version of Feliz Navidad in different languages.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and I'm really proud that he's showcasing his work with us as well.
So we've got a few things to talk about, Brittany. Of course, first and foremost is graduation, which is tomorrow, and it is going to be viral this year. We've got the whole thing online, and it's something new for us, a virtual commencement ceremony. The 11 a.m. ceremony is for VAST, the VAST Academy, and then we've got a 2 p.m. ceremony, which is for all of our graduates. So tune in tomorrow, celebrate our graduates. It's been a learning experience putting together this first virtual graduation, because we're kind of learning as we go along with this. We were kind of, it was thrown out there, and we kind of knew it was coming, but man, it's certainly taken a life of its own.
It definitely is, Todd. And I think considering circumstances we are under, and students, I completely understand this isn't the traditional way. This isn't the way that you want to graduate. However, this is still an option that we made available to all of our spring 2020 graduates who have worked so hard to achieve this moment in their life. And this is coming from an alumnus. So I think it's great that we're still pursuing our virtual graduation for both VAST and our graduates and certificate holders. And we do invite everyone to join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. by going to hccs.edu/graduation to watch the live stream. But before you do that, and I'm going to invite Michael and Catherine to do this as well and share this with your staff members. If any of you are on social media, which a lot of people are, obviously, go to your personal Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and use the hashtag HCCgrad2020 to send your congratulatory messages to the students, because this is such a unique time. This is very untraditional in the sense of graduating online for us, but we want to show our support for all of our students, and you can do that by, again, either sharing a photo, a video, or just a message of congratulations to our 2020 graduates, and use the hashtag HCCgrad2020. Those hashtags will be populating onto that same graduation page I mentioned before on a very special social media wall where students can see each other's videos, photos, messages, and, just revel in that.
Well, Brittany, tonight at 6 p.m., 6 to 8 p.m., there's a Spring 2020 virtual grad party that's featuring DJ High C from 97.9 The Box, and some will be featured dancing 1 minute to a line dance songs. The songs they've selected, Brittany, if anyone's been on a cruise, you've heard these songs over and over, and usually it involved drunk people dancing to them. But tonight, we're not going to say that's going to happen. This is going to be a family affair tonight. But the songs they'll be playing are The Wobble, Macarena, and the popular Boot Scootin' Boogie. So if you haven't, those along, it would be worth seeing. If you haven't seen any line dance to any of those three songs, you haven't been on a Carnival cruise yet.
Oh, you just haven't been to a party, let alone, a cruise. Those line dances are essential to all sorts of parties, weddings, graduations, celebrations, what have you. Yes, Wobble, Macarena, and the Boot Scoot Boogie. I mean, we're from Texas. Come on, you have to do that. It's going to be a blast, Todd, because not only do they have a DJ from 97.9 The Box, but Student Life, Carl Mays, his entire Student Life coordinator team just do a fantastic job by putting things together for our students. It's going to be lit, y'all. So you make sure to head over to the Facebook group page, search for HCC Grad 2020 as a group, and participate in this virtual graduation party. And we want to know what you guys think of it, so be sure to use that same hashtag, HCCgrad2020, to show us your moves, your photos, and how you're celebrating graduation.
Also, another thing to keep in mind, there has been an extension. Of course, last week, the COVID testing at the Southeast College was supposed to wrap up. It's actually wrapping up tomorrow. So it's happening today and tomorrow at 6815 Rustic in the parking garage. It's free, and it happens from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Just drive on up, and you can get tested for COVID there at the Southeast College. And this weekend, big weekend for us because everybody's off on a 3-day weekend. Reminder, it's Memorial Day weekend. Our graduation's tomorrow, then we launch into Memorial Day weekend, so we will be off on Monday. Monday, everybody except for you, Brittany, you'll be here by yourself.
I'm sad.
No, we'll be off on Monday. Do you have time to share that website that we were talking about? Because HCC made a huge announcement earlier this morning with the new jobsnowhouston.org website. And this is a website we've launched to highlight programs, 5 specific programs through HCC that you can get a certification, short-term degree, and there are jobs available. Literally in the state of Texas, nearly 500,000 jobs have been created in the last few months, and they fall into these 5 fields. Jobsnowhouston.org is the website, Brittany.
That is correct, Todd. And unfortunately, because I'm not the host of this little meeting, I cannot share my screen. So I'd have to toss that over to you, or just invite everyone to go ahead while they're sitting at their computers or their devices to check out that jobsnowhouston.org page. It is, it's plugged or powered by, I can't think this morning, sorry. It's powered by Houston Community College. It's got some great resources there available to you. And if you do have any questions about jobsnowhouston.org, there is a contact block at the very bottom of the page. And there you go. Now we can check this out.
Well, in Houston, all you need is a little bit of training. So the website you can see is live. It went live this morning. There's workforce training now, fast training for a job, business resources. All of this you can find on this website, and it gives a way to contact them. The idea is to get people back to work, to get them trained back to work, because as you know, Brittany, we mentioned at the top of the show, the numbers are staggering. 1.5 million Texans filed for unemployment over this COVID crisis. But the good news is there's about 500,000 jobs out there that are new jobs that have been created, and we're trying to connect you with those jobs, get you the right training on a short-term deal so you could get back to work.
Absolutely, Todd. And once again, I'll put in that plug-in for everyone out there watching us to go ahead and check out the classes that we have available for summer 2020 and fall. We've got a lot of courses that are available that are going to be in high demand jobs for training and whatnot. So either during this COVID-19 crisis and thereafter. So if you're interested in healthcare, construction, advanced manufacturing, HCC has a program, degree, and certification just for you. So head over to hccs.edu/now to check out our classes and to become an HCC student if you already aren't.
So that about wraps up the show for today, Brittany. Tomorrow on the show, we'll have our first ever graduation day, virtual graduation day. We'll have Ashley Rhodes, Student Life Coordinator for HCC Northeast, will be on the show. Student Life doing a fantastic job during this COVID crisis. They really are. But she'll be discussing the big virtual grad party that we're having tonight, the line dances. Maybe we see a little bit of that tomorrow. And we'll hear about some stories of these students who are celebrating with us during our first graduation ceremony, virtual graduation ceremony happening tomorrow. That's all tomorrow. Elwyn, we've got the high-tech Texan, Michael Garfield, to be visiting us again. He always brings in some interesting tips to help us while we're living in this virtual world. So join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thanks, Brittany. Thanks, Michael and Catherine, for joining us today. And we will see you all tomorrow on Up to the Minute at 10 a.m.